Welcome everyone to Imaginative Visions Page Turners Bookworms. We're back with another review, and this will be the last discussion for the month of August. I try to do this every Monday, and I just want to say this. This one, I know some of you are like, this is not really a recent book. Here at Page Turners, I will highlight classic books, I will highlight recent books, and books that I've just always wanted to talk about here. And today is one of those books where I never got a chance to read it. I've always said I was going to get around to it, and I'm finally did it. And I'm a huge fan of this film franchise. So reading the book was a no-brainer for me. If you saw last week's episode, then you know what I'm talking about. I am talking about Jurassic Park by Michael Crichton. And this is whoo, such a far cry. I'm starting to think when people say the books are usually better than the movies, there's no argument here with this. And I'm going to explain. Don't This is not going to be me bashing the movie. I love Spielberg's take. It's a classic. It's one of the greatest movies of all time. But we got to talk about this book here because it is dark, it's visceral, and severely different than what was put on screen. And as always, I give you a brief overview. So let me read the back here. So let's get started here. There it goes. An astonishing technique for recovering cloning dinosaur DNA has been discovered. Now humankind's most thrilling fantasies have come true. Creatures extinct for eons roam Jurassic Park with their awesome presence and profound mystery, and all the world can visit them for a price until something goes wrong. Now, if you've been living under a rock, then you know what goes wrong in Jurassic Park. So this review will be a little bit more different. This is me more not recapping. I'm not going to say, oh my gosh, this, and talk about the story because to Spielberg's credit, at least the core bones of the book he did really do good. But there are so much minor, not even minor, from minor differences to major differences from the Jurassic Park movie to the Jurassic Park book. And I'm going to talk about a little bit of those differences. First of all, the tone of this movie is completely different. The book is dark, and I mean dark, violent, and it goes there. It talks more about the chaos theory. It talks more about human hubris, and it does more deep dive on the scientific ethics of Jurassic Park, and questioning more of man's wielding this type of power. While the movies were more family friendly, adventurous, and more spectacle, it tones down the violence tremendously, and it doesn't go too deep into the complexities and the science of the appeal. But even here, I will have to say that I love the pacing of this book. I love the tone of this book. I was literally shocked of how different. Like in the beginning, we don't even start at the park. We're starting very. I'm trying to do this without spoiling too much, just in case people want to read it. But there are elements from the movie The Lost World that were actually taken from this particular book. And one of those elements, this I will spoil, is a family that, remember in The Lost World, a family that comes across an island. You have something very similar in the book here. But this is much more darker. This is much more visceral, more violent. And if you want a hint of how violent this can be, compies and a baby in a crib. That's all I'm going to say about that. There's a reason why certain scenes were not put on screen, especially in 1994. But not to mention, there is such a character difference from John Hammond, Dr. Grant, Ellie Sadler. Ian Malcolm is a little bit different in this. Lex and Tim is a dramatic change as well. That I can spoil for you. First of all, Dr. Hammond in the book compared to the movie, and in the movie, he's just like this old, kind-hearted grandfather figure, and everybody loves him. In the book, he is a asshole. He's a selfish, arrogant prick that only cares about his end goals. His family members are just a means to an end for him. There's times in here where he really truthfully doesn't even give a hell about Lex and Tim. And Alan Grant in the book dislikes kids but ends up warming up to them. more action focused. In the movie, same arc, but it's more pronounced, and he becomes a father figure to Lex and Tim. Ellie has a complete change as well. Well, similar change. She's a graduate student and Botany. She's younger in here, and she's romantically involved with someone that's not Dr. Grant. In the movie, she's more mature. She's Grant's partner in that one, and she's given a larger role in saving Jurassic Park. Ian Malcolm, very serious in the book, more into the philosophy of things, and he allegedly died from his injuries in the book. And Lex and Tim, this is a major shift too, because in the movie, Lex is older, Tim is the younger one. In the book, Tim is older. I think he's around 11 years old, and Lex is younger, and her character is completely annoying. There's also differences in the park details. The island, it has more infrastructure. There's villages, there's workers, there's padlock systems. There's a bigger emphasis on the logistics of the park. And the movie, the layout is more simplified to a visitor center and the tour path. The book is far more lethal in depth. Like the way they're describing the deaths, the raptors are more smarter, the compies, there's other dinosaurs that didn't make the cut. There's this huge T-Rex scene in here, which I won't spoil if you want to read the book. But yeah, for those that know, and if those for those gamers out there, if you want to know, I believe it's level 4 or 5 in the Jurassic Park Sega Genesis game. That's your little hint there. But I really just enjoyed the writing style of this. I couldn't put it down because one, I'm a big Jurassic Park fan, so just to be able to read how the story actually is and how the story actually supposed to be, I am now begging for a remake or a TV show that aligns with everything from this book. But I don't think we're ever going to see a real, true depiction of Jurassic Park just due to the graphic nature and how dark and visceral this is. Like I said, that compy scene is probably the most disturbing part of this book, besides the death of Dennis as well. That was also kind of brutal as well. And it's just the way he Michael describes these animals and the way the animals behave, how intelligent these animals are, the philosophies. It's such a well written book. It is something that I encourage any Jurassic Park fan to pick up and read. If you have never read Jurassic Park and you're just a fan of these movies, you owe yourself to pick up this book and read it. I'm not going to give a rating system for this one because I just told you about it. Pick up this book and read it if you're a Jurassic Park fan. Hell, even if you're not a Jurassic Park fan, pick up this classic. This is a brilliant, brilliant book that I could not put down. Highly recommend this one. It's dark, it's visceral, its themes really play well. The character descriptions, the way the characters are. Like reading this book and then watching the movie, I was just like, remake, man. Need a remake for this, or just give us a TV show so certain scenes can breathe, certain things such as the science can breathe so people could understand it. So highly recommend this one. My friends, I'm gonna wrap up this episode of Page Turners. If you like what we do here, hopefully it earns your subscription. So please hit the like button, subscribe button, and notification bell. I'll catch you on the next one. And thank you for visiting imaginativevisions.com. Later days.